morning. We are on Highway 6, westbound, approaching the Needles Ferry. Loaded at Box Lake Lumber. Had a tar pit. There's not much overlap on the tarp on the front trailer, so keep an eye on that to make sure they don't work their way apart. If they do, I'll have to throw a strap over it. That looks like a bump. Yep, that's a bump. So we're headed home. The weather doesn't look too promising for the weekend to go for a bike ride, but we'll see. We'll see. Ferry ride shouldn't, I think it sails every 15 minutes, every 20 minutes here, something like that. So I shouldn't be too delayed there. So I should be able to get to West Kelowna by around between 1 and 1:30. And then switch over to the new E-log there. And then head home. They said it would take 2 to 3 hours to switch everything over. And while they're switching it over, I have to do a little course and learn how to use the new E-log. I know when I Googled them online, they look pretty straightforward. I noticed the lake is a little lower than it has been. I wonder if they lowered it in anticipation of flooding. This road looks like it's slowly sliding into the lake, so lowered itself by a few inches. You always hope that an engineer has looked at it and said, yes, the road is stable, it's okay to drive on it. Same with here. Whole road, both lanes there were partially caved in. That's something that happens a lot in BC. You'll see that all over the place. Something that I forget to talk about because we're used to it. But when you're driving along BC roads, especially in spring, you'll see a lot of places where the whole road has caved in and lowered itself by an inch or two, sometimes as much as a foot. That was Rock Creek 2 years ago. We were still driving on it. See here, these cracks here, just slightly lowered. Usually makes a big U shape across the road or a big V. Sometimes it's just a little part of the road, sometimes it's full lane, and other times it's the whole road. 9:51. We're 11 kilometers away. If the next sailing is 10 o'clock, I should be able to make the sailing. It might be 10:30 too. If it's at 10:30, then I just go off duty for half an hour. For however long it is between sailings. If the ferry's not there, I'll jump out of the truck and show you guys my load. If the ferry's there, I'll have to save that for another time. I have to do a load secure either way. If the ferry's there, I'll do it right after we get off the ferry. Wherever the first pullout is, and then, well, technically I don't have to do it for another 30 kilometers after the ferry, so don't have to grab the very first pullout if it's an inconvenient one. Oh, that's a funny bump. I'll let it go across the line just to get rid of the funny wiggle. See, here again, the road's been caving in enough that they put some extra pavement in there. Having said that, we're across the road. I could have stayed in my lane. It was just a smoother ride with that really funny bump. It's like, well, there's no oncoming traffic right now. I'll just take more of the road than I need. Why unsettle the truck if you don't need to? Looking really beautiful. It's got a kind of green tinge to it today. Corner the road was caving in there as well, so you'll see that all over the place. I'll stop mentioning it, but if you guys keep looking on the road, you'll keep seeing this big U shape where the road slowly moving down, slowly sliding down the mountain. Even here, a big one right there. And that's just something you gotta get used to when you live in BC. Gotta have faith that the road continues. The road's not gonna cave on you. Having said that, if it's going to cave on anyone, most likely it is going to be during a rainstorm, when there's a lot of water coming down during a rainstorm, after a rainstorm, and probably when a big rig goes over it. An extra weight to kind of trigger it. So the car would be unlikely to trigger a landslide like that, but you never know. Let's find out. Oh, here come all the cars. All coming off the ferry. Ferry's gonna load in 2 minutes. So we'll see if I get on this sailing or not.
Board the ferry.
Ferry should be loading in 1 minute. Not boarding yet, so I think I got about the perfect timing.
Board the ferry.
Sorry, I gotta wait to board the ferry. Gotta wait. And they should board the ferry right about now. We'll see how close I am. I don't think I'll wait here longer than a minute. I'll let you guys wait with me because I suspect it's not going to be long. I guess I could turn my engine off. Nope, the gate just opened. Hasn't pointed me this way, but I know I'm going this way.
In 1 kilometer, leave the ferry.
I'm sure he's pointing for the guy behind us to go over there. Nobody here to tell me where to stop, but I'm going to stop right in the center of the ferry. Listen to the safety announcement, and then I'll pull over right after the ferry somewhere and show you the load. It feels like we're moving because of the waves. Oh, we are moving. Yeah, we are moving. Maybe they don't do the safety announcement. There's a sign for new COVID-19 restrictions. Call this the water bridge. This ferry doesn't have any propellers at all. It's a cable ferry. There's two cables on either side and one cable in the center, and it pulls itself along on these cables. If you guys noticed, when I pulled on, there was this big cable that I drove over. That's the big center cable. I'm not sure which one is getting the power, if just the one center one that is where the wheels are pulling itself along, or if all three are getting pulled on, or are two of them just guidelines. Looks like an inbox message on my call. I'll email you your paperwork shortly. Custom paperwork. Oh, customs. Okay, never mind. Border crossing customs. Okay, sure. Thanks. I just assumed you were going to. Hey, while we're here, let's fill out our paperwork. Alright, I already have it almost all the way filled out. All I need to do is put in the PO number. There's the PO number right there. 3509001. Invoice number right there, 20399. 32 lifts. Of rails and posts. 8 lifts of rails that are 10 feet long, 10 lifts of rails that are 8 feet long, and then a bunch of different posts. Some posts with 2 holes in them, and some posts with 3 holes in them, depending if you want 3 rails or 2 rails on your fence. Hey, we're almost over already. Halfway at least. Interesting, all the swallows. I wonder if the swallows have actually made nests on the ferry. There's quite a bit of difference in color in the 2 swallows there. One was a lot more brown and one was a lot more blue. I'm assuming the bluer one is the male and the browner one is the female. Usually that's how birds work. The colorful ones are usually the males. I never paid enough attention to swallows before to notice there was a difference in color. If I open my window, you think they'll fly in? I've caught swallows before. They're stuck in a small shed. It's like, okay, get out, swallow. Instead, the swallow just panics. It's like, okay, I'm gonna go grab you and then release you out to nature. Don't want to fly out the door? Okay. I can't leave the door open here. I don't know how you got in, but we're gonna let you out. Beautiful birds. If you ever have an opportunity to get close to them. I know when I caught him, it's such a beautiful bird. I wonder if they're hanging out at the front of the ferry because the ferry disturbs the bugs. Kind of fun watching them. Okay, we were going at 8.5 kilometers, and now we're going to slow down. I heard the engines.
In 200 meters, leave the ferry.
Thanks, Carmen. You see the 3 cables there? You got 2 cables on either side, a bit away from the dock, and then the cable in the center. So those are the 3 cables that pull us or guide us across the lake. Down to 5 kilometers. 4 kilometers. 3.
Out after today, and I think I got 2 good now.
Down to 2 kilometers. 1. Off we go. Quite the gap there.
Leave the ferry.
transmission. Thank you, automatic.
Continue on Highway 6.
Went to manual, I'll go back to automatic now. Just too steep of a hill, it didn't know what to do. Where's our pullout? I think this is an 11% grade hill, if I remember right. It's a pretty darn steep hill. Going 30 kilometers per hour and I have a US load, so I'm quite light. Actually, he gave me the tag. He said I weighed 102,800 pounds. And I'm going 105,500, so I'm almost 2,000 pounds underweight for a US load and a lot lighter than a Canadian load. But I'm boxed out, the trailers are full, as you'll be able to see. Pull over, I'm full load. And I don't have my forward flashers on here, even though I'm going really slow because, well, I just got off a ferry. There is nobody behind us. I don't know if you're gonna make it, motorcycle. Follows the side of the highway here. It says 12% downgrade on that sign there. It's a 12% hill. wonder if that road just is for logging trucks to drive along there so that they don't use the highway. But that road pretty much, well, the logging truck just pulled in front of me, but it pretty much follows that whole climb almost from the bottom all the way up. Looks like the road used to go straight here. Now I'm faster than this guy, but I really don't want to pass him because we want to pull over. So I don't want him to think I want to pass him. And let's get a lad one on the radio, just in case he wants to talk to me. Should have gone the opposite directions on these buttons. One. Not enough room to pull over there. Yeah, I could have been right on his bumper there. I let off the throttle. That right there is a brake check for the opposing traffic, I think. So I'm not going to pull into that side. Yep, that's the brake check. We'll find a place to pull over. And I'm doing another one of those continuous long videos, but and honestly, I'm okay if you guys only watch the first 15 minutes of my videos, because usually I get almost everything done and said in the first 15 minutes. I know he's a motorcycle and I could have taken half his lane, he would have been okay. But I know when I'm on a motorcycle, I like it when people still respect my space. Definitely not going to make the ferry, but they'll get the next sailing. Those are some beautiful bikes. Black lines here because once again they put a 60-kilometer speed limit at the bottom of the hill without telling you on the top. really big enough for a Super B, is it? Maybe. Enough to check my load anyway. Looks like there's enough tracks on there that I trust the dirt not to cave out on me. All right. Why'd you stop signaling? Because I turned the engine off? Does it always do that? I'm not sure. Okay, let's unplug you guys and take a quick look at the load. There we go. Christmas present all wrapped. If you'll notice, all the bungees are pulling towards the back. And then all the bungees on the back tarp are pulling towards the front. That way, the tarps want to stay together. But it really looks like the top of that tarp doesn't want to stay together, so I'm going to throw an extra strap over here that goes over that tarp. Make sure it doesn't separate. The back trailer, there's a lot more overlap because it's a shorter trailer. And once again, you'll notice all the bungees on the back tarp are pulling forward and the bungees on the front tarp pulling backwards. Alright, I'm going to go throw that strap and tighten it down just to make sure the tarp doesn't come apart. So thank you guys for watching. Enjoy your weekend. And I'll see you guys on Monday. I'll be in Tacoma somewhere. Maybe they'll send me to Oregon to get a load there or something like that. We'll see. We'll see. Thanks again, guys. You guys rock. I really appreciate all the comments and the thumbs ups and all the love you guys share with or show me. So thank you.